Since every president has issued a warning against central banks like the Bank of England, the Fed is the third central bank America has had as of 1913. Also, the Fed does not hold all government reserves. It's also not a bank. A cartel of banks has formed, and the third one was established following President Washington's declaration that there had not been a central bank since roughly 1776. In this video, we'll talk about 3 reasons why 97% will lose everything after 2022 by Robert Kiyosaki. But before that, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more amazing content. Let's start the video now without further delay. Tax nets and bills. In addition to the Fed, the tax nets and the bills were also established in 1913. I was referring to the taxman. The 19th, 13th and 16th amendments were approved, and as a result, America is now taxed. America was a tax-free country up to almost that time in 1913. What does that indicate then? Taxes are necessary for money to exist. Let me explain. Taxes were necessary in order for the dollar or the pound to exist. As a result, it was one of the greatest frauds ever, and for that reason 1913 is significant. The globe decided to make the US dollar the world's reserve currency as World War II came to an end in exchange for America's guarantee to retain the currency backed by gold, which is still the case today. As a result, the United States declared in 1944 that it would be backed by gold. Then in 1971, President Nixon apologized for breaking the commitment, and that made it possible for money printing to become out of hand. And thus, here we are today. I just received it. The Economist from London just arrived. It also states that this is this month. Investments. According to the report, governments have invested $17 trillion in the pandemic, including loans and guarantees totaling 16% of the world's GDP. 16% of the world GDP was printed in money last year, or that amount. I'm not sure what will make you rush out and buy gold and silver if that doesn't, though. They must immediately continue printing or we will crash. I've been positive on gold all year long for that reason. The most crucial factor for those who are listening is that if you're following the rock market, you're also watching the silver market. I bought this magazine in because I'm paying attention to what this article has to say about this person. You keep an eye on who is using the funds. Government is responsible. Governments have spent $17 trillion, that's 16% of global GDP, on the pandemic alone, and I'll say it again. I'm viewing them right now. What do you have on? I keep an eye on the government. They don't have my trust. Never, ever. They are so incompetent, in other words. Simply put, it defies belief. If you pay attention to Jim, who stands in for our good pals and is an insider of the system as a whole, he complains about how inept the Fed and the bank are. They are incapable individuals. They're highly educated individuals who lack financial literacy, similar to Marx. They are not business people. They adhere to socialism. If you realize that, you will purchase more gold and silver today rather than next year. Ounces confusion. How many ounces do you simply want to get as many as you can? What are the ounces, not the price? So I made golds for this year. I'm going to have 5 gold points. It's a derivation, of course. Among derivatives is stock. Give it a brief explanation of what a derivative is. If I split an orange in half and squeeze the juice out, the orange is the source of the orange juice. Consequently, a stock is a form of a firm. Silver and gold are not byproducts of God. That's why I refer to it as God's money, if you get what I mean. And because blockchain is outside of the Fed and the Treasury, I refer to it as people's money. The Bank of England is nearby. The German Bundesbank is nearby. You'll discover in a few years that these institutions are in major debt-related difficulties since all the Fed and the Bank of England need to do is continue printing money. People are content as long as they can use this toilet paper in this way. However, the time will come when someone will declare, "Oh my God, I'm $10 billion, but it's not worth it. This could not be purchased by me." In Zimbabwe, I was. I couldn't get help with this. Correct. However, I visited Africa. I cherish Africa. It ranks among the best. I simply adore it. One of the best and richest continents. However, what really is wrong with all of us? Academia, the liberal left, and everything else. Their heads are not in the air up there. However, I'm not sure where they are. But the Fed falls within that heading. The Bank of England falls under this heading. Although they are making all the forecasts and other things, they are not grounded in reality. And for that reason, the small Vietnamese woman woke me up in 1972. I'm doing what she asks. If I said I'd sell you my real $50, would all of your listeners say they would consider it? They reflect on it. They wish to talk about the Fed, the International BIS Bank. I'm not sure. Just tell me how many houses you have. What's the cost of entry, such as Bitcoin? Admissions. The admission fee is $6,000 for me, so even though I was a little late, I managed to catch the move, and it's now about $55,000. I'm still profitable. I don't know much other than that, and I don't like to talk much. As soon as I notice that movement, and as a miner, I'm aware that the world gold reserves are being depleted, and that much of the gold that has recently been discovered is in nations that despise the United States. Therefore, I'm unsure of why people are waiting. Let me just mention that it's gold, similar to observing these tiny holes bored up the mountain while standing in the Andes. Why were the Inca searching for gold, I questioned. They were not instructed to do it. The internet was available. No phone was present. Why are Mongolians searching for gold at all? I'm grateful. I did, however, see a commercial here. I just published this book. It is titled The Capitalist Manifesto and will be released in December 2021. But I was a Marxist student. He passed away there. Marx also came to mind, my dear father, a rich man with low education, and Marx detested the wealthy. He never realized why the wealthy was so wealthy. This is why I have a wealthy father. Dad is like Marx, an extremely intelligent man who is perpetually broke. And I would prefer to be like my wealthy father and my closest friend's father. He also taught me how to be a businessman. I attended the military school in New York where we were required to study Marx, Lenin, Stalin, Mao, Hitler and all of these other figures. If you understand what I mean, gold played a significant role in their foundation. What matters is how many homes you have, not how much gold costs. And today, sobriety costs $25 US. It's Jesus. When I first started, I was paying $48. I've never seen a bark quite like this one. I just learned how to sprint in order to get more sulfur. Gold and silver acceptance. If that doesn't motivate you to buy gold and silver right away, I'm not sure what will. They have to keep printing now or we'll crash, you know. I've been positive on gold for the entire year because of this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't wake up, you're just this stupid little hog on its way to the slaughter. Today, we're in such a situation. Because of this, I'm not pessimistic. Rather, I'm being realistic. Bitcoin will most likely reach $50,000. Both will increase to $15,000 and some will likely decrease to $200. And you'll purchase it at that point. It will happen soon. Be tolerant. However, the typical person has been trained to think in terms of paper, phony money and fake dollars. They are printing as much money as they can at the same moment. They didn't provide it to us. Instead, they gave it to their wealthy pals, after which they print it. And interest rates continue to decline. It will happen soon. The interest rate will be negative. I'm not sure how we can pull that off. When I was a child though, I received 15% interest on deposits of $100, so I deposited $100 in the bank, and a year later I had $115. We deposited $100 at the bank today. The bank is printing the $15 that we owe them. Therefore, even though the dollar is losing value, the price of the bank is rising. Keep your mind in the bank, they demand. Why do you want to save money? Because I don't trust the US dollar. I don't store any money. Currency discrimination. Don't get me wrong, it's still a powerful currency, but because of this, both Bitcoin and gold will become even more powerful. Here are some examples of how our governments, the Treasury, Wall Street, the financial industry, and the Federal Reserve Bank defraud us. I keep quiet when I hear individuals approaching me and saying things like, "Oh, the price of real estate is going up," and they're leaping into buying real estate right now. People are just starting to buy into the hype, which is the cause. In reality, all of this credit is debt credit and debt pumping into the economy in an effort to stop this disaster. And if inflation persists, my wealth increases. I'm ecstatic right now. I also consider Biden. I don't identify with either party. He wants inflation on purpose. He shut down XL pipeline for this reason. That's it, guys. While I'm watching all of this, these folks are rushing out and purchasing real estate as if tomorrow won't come. I can't even approach them. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Leave a like, share it with your friends and families, and jot down your thoughts in the comment section below.